What the is going on?
Your turn.
I
like to party.
Jesus, honey, wax much?
From podcast one,
Are we
this
starting?
is Unwaxed
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
with Sophia and Sistine Stallone.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Yes. Oh my God, what an embarrassing intro that was. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Unwaxed podcast.
With your favorite sisters, Sophia and Steve Stallone.
You know, that's starting to grow on me.
Yay!
Run that back. Let's try it again.
No, it's good. I'm happy it's growing on you. I think it works. It kind of flows. And I get it. It gets me amped.
She is tweaking, guys.
I'm tweaking.
It's just one of them days.
You're singing now?
All right, let's move on. This has been a very interesting week for Sophia and I. We feel like a lot of strange reoccurrences have happened.
Yep. And you know, we have been mentioning it to each other, but now it's hit a wall.
Okay, so
It's
we're all about manifestation.
Yes.
And for example, I'll be driving into a parking garage. I'll manifest a parking spot and then it'll happen, right? But we've been manifesting, this is gonna sound so pathetic, a friend.
So lately, Sistine has been
That's so
visualizing
sad.
things and then getting them. I've been seeing 11:11 everywhere at night and morning. Now I think I'm just like clockwork. I know when it's 11:11, but it's weird. So Sistine and I've been talking since we've come to Florida that we've been wanting a friend.
Yes.
I love her. She loves me. But you know, we need a third.
We need a third party to
third
sort
party.
of break it up.
Yes. And so we've been saying to each other that we've been dying to meet someone new.
Yeah.
Just here in Florida, we know.
We know no one. And so
No one.
it's definitely hard being away from your friends in LA. So we went to dinner the other night. We were manifesting at dinner. We were like, we gotta find a friend.
Yeah.
We decide, let's go get a drink, Sophia. Lo and behold, we go to the bar. We see
But we
a
don't
girl.
do this.
Ever. We see a girl sitting alone at the bar.
Yeah.
2 hours later, BFFs.
Friend. And guess what? We're getting dinner with her tonight. How did that happen?
Coincidence? I think not. Another coincidence is I've been having a lot of weird dreams, and I want to bring on a dream specialist because I truly believe that when you have something traumatic happen in your dream, it applies to your regular
What
day-to-day
has
life.
been traumatic in your
Well, I've just been
dreams?
having very gruesome, explicit,
What?
gory dreams. It's really sad. But here's the weird part. I've been dreaming about individuals that I've never met in my life, never think about in my life. I don't watch any of their content. And then they'll be showing up the next day in my life. Like, for example,
Go ahead.
I had a dream about Dave Portnoy.
Oh,
Do I follow Dave Portnoy?
No.
Do I follow Barstool?
No.
I don't ever talk or look
Dave
at Dave
Portnoy
Portnoy.
is not in our peripheral.
Why was I dreaming of him? We'll get to that later. I go, hey, Dad, I had a dream about Dave Portnoy. And he goes, oh, that's so interesting. I was on the phone with him today.
What?
That's my point, you guys.
There's
Weird stuff.
something
Is this
going
deja
on.
vu?
Is it 2021? Is something going on this year that's been changing and making us,
Maybe.
because it's been happening. We've mentioned a name and they'd come up somewhere else, maybe in the news.
It's just
and
been happening a lot.
it's baffling, but it's kind of making things interesting.
What is the
Because now I think
proper,
we have
is
powers.
this deja vu? What is the actual definition of deja vu?
No, okay, so deja vu, what I've come to gather is when you have an experience and you feel like you've done that before. So I can't tell if it's that or if it's just we're psychic.
Yeah.
I think what the psychic said, we have spiritual powers, so now we're able to predict the future. So if you guys want your future read by Sophia and I,
You know what actually
What is
could
that?
be? It just came to me.
yeah.
I think we've been thinking very weird thoughts because you sort of dragged me into your love of anime. You guys, Sophia's been watching a lot of anime.
Well, yes.
Nothing
very chill.
against anime, but I just did not peg you as the type to watch it.
I did not peg myself as the type to watch anime, but I'll tell you how it happened. My little sister Scarlett, she's into it.
Yeah.
She loves it, but she kind of secretly liked it. She told us she was into it, but we didn't realize like the extent of it. And I saw
What do you like about it?
well, this is what my thing was. So I was kind of curious because I saw there was a Netflix series that came out that they made. It's called like Kokuguri or something. It's about gambling.
Kokuguri.
I don't know what it's called, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
Very sexual too.
And it's so sexual.
Like-
It's so sexual. You guys, it doesn't, there are things in the show that I didn't think would happen. You know, it was one of those like huge plot twists every single time. You're just like, why did they just do that?
You know, this is a whole genre of porn. What is it called? It's like, it's all anime.
Well,
It's very sexual.
it was a very sexual show, but it's so interesting. The show, honestly, I got weirdly addicted to it. I haven't watched any anime since. I've been like dabbling a little bit. I don't know if I could watch it 24/7.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to be one of those characters for Halloween.
So you guys have to
Outfits are
actually
cute.
message us some good suggestions.
Yeah.
Because
We
this
don't
is our
like
new
to.
thing.
We don't like to like battles.
We're trying to
like-
be cool. We're trying to be with Gen Z TikTokers. We're trying to be in the know.
You do have a Cowboy Depop shirt, and you've never seen Cowboy Depop, so maybe she
Thanks
should.
for outing me.
But you should watch it.
bitch.
It's anime.
I
and
know.
You can actually wear it.
I know. Okay. What else
Wait,
is new? What else?
Sistine.
We're giving y'all a life update.
You guys, we need to talk about what just happened the other day with our lovely nails. I know everyone's like, oh, I don't want to hear about your nails. No, you're gonna want to hear about this because
I
of
would
course
like
this
to
happened.
set the scene.
Yeah.
I am not a nail snob.
Knob.
I'm not a doorknob.
She's not a doorknob, and she's not a nail
I'm not a
snob.
nail snob. I'm not kidding you. The last time I got my nails done was a year ago. This was before the pandemic. I just never got them done. I was like, I'm not gonna waste the money. I could just do them myself. I know how to put on polish.
Right.
So I never got them done myself.
No. I was always actually kind of more the nail
Yeah.
snob, I'd say. I am very particular about how my nails are shaped, how they're cared for. I just think nails, people see your hands all the time. I want to
I know. I just don't care. I just don't care.
Also, I've heard guys actually do check out your nails. It's
I
ugly
know.
or
I
not.
know. So I get my nails done. I'm excited. Scarlett, our little sister, says, you should get this thing called dip. I have no idea what this is. Apparently it's acrylic powder. I don't know. I go, okay, I'll try it. She goes, you should do the shape. I'm balls to the wall. Let's go for it. Right. I sit down. I'm feeling optimistic. The girl and I are chatting away. It's great. And then I look down at my nails and it looks like someone cut off my index finger. Blood everywhere.
Wait, no. Can I just like also preface that this business reached out to Sistine and said like, well, we'd love to do your nails, and they do dip, and I've never done dip either, and I was like, Sistine's
So
like,
I
"Do you
was
want something? Let's just go."
excited. Yeah.
So kind of crazy. I'm like, they're dipping my fingers in powder, and it's turning into polish, and Sistine's across the way, and this woman, I just hear her freaking out.
So I'm sitting there. This girl is freaking out. She keeps jumping up out of her chair. She can't sit for more than 5 seconds. Blood is, I'm not exaggerating, rushing down my arm.
Gushing.
The owner is freaking out because apparently she was cutting my cuticles like really deep. And I
She
said,
went
please don't.
into those cuticles.
And
though.
she was like almost doing it with a blindfold on. She's going crazy. So I'm bleeding everywhere and it won't stop. And so I'm trying to be as polite as possible. I'm not freaking out. I'm just sitting there like, no, it's okay. And it's my fault. Like, I don't know why I can't stop bleeding. That's what I kept saying because she was so upset.
I felt bad.
And I
but
felt
it's
really
also-
bad for her. And then she goes to me and the owner goes, are you anemic? And I go, I don't think so. And she goes, maybe you have diabetes. That's why I won't stop bleeding. And I go, okay, maybe I go to the doctor after this to check if I'm anemic and
No,
have
no,
diabetes.
You didn't just split her skin in half.
She hit a vein.
She kind of hit a
You
vein.
guys, that's how bad it
So
was.
Sistine's gushing blood. My nail polish, on the other hand, have you ever had nail polish that was so thick on your nail, like just like you could literally see a layer. It looks like baby fingers.
They look
I used to have like claws, like beautiful real nails. She chopped that off and just layered my nail.
Moral
with
of
a
the story
ton
is, if you can do it better yourself, do
Do
it
it.
yourself. Because
Don't go to places.
that was a big fat mistake. Again, I love a bad story because I can bring it on UNWAXED. So I'm here for the content.
Perfect.
At the end of the day, save your money. We decided we're gonna do something a little bit different before we bring on our guest today. We're gonna start with our unsolicited advice instead of ending the episode with it. Just a quick reminder, make sure you go to our podcast page at the Apple Podcast app. Leave your question in the comments and reviews section, and that is the only way we are going to read or answer it.
If it's less than 5 stars and you still wrote an answer or
Not
question,
cool.
we're not answering.
Not cool. Not cool. And by the way, I read a lot of the DMs and a lot of the reviews that you guys leave, and a lot of them are saying, I know you'll never see this, but I really love you guys, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there in bed like, I see it.
We see it. We see it.
We
Every
read
time
all
we say
of
we
them.
don't see it, we see it.
So I really appreciate hearing your guys' feedback. It honestly makes this so worth it and so much
Yeah.
fun. So let's jump right into the question. 619 Hawk wrote, where do you guys see each other in 10 years? What would you like to accomplish? Great show. Thank you. 10 years, Sophia, 10 years
I want to
from
be.
now. No, each other. Where do you see each other? So stop answering, lady.
I see you in 10 years.
You'll be 30.
Married to a Thomas Shelby. Singing songs like Dua Lipa.
Oh my God, I love Dua Lipa. Hold on. I don't sing, and he's married. So this is already 0 for 2.
I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you released the film that you wrote. She did sell a film.
That would be cool.
And it actually comes out. So then she's now a famous screenwriter like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And not first woman to be on the moon, but like also live on the moon.
I don't want to go to the moon.
10 years.
Space scares me. I don't want to do that. No.
Okay, but we can be serious.
All right, you would be, how old are you, 24?
I'm 24.
You're going to be 34. Whoa. 34. 34-year-old Sophia will be sitting alone at a bar waiting for someone to talk to her. No, this is honestly, this is where I see Sophia. You're married.
Sure.
You've got one baby.
Yes, probably.
Maybe you have another one in the stomach, but you don't know it yet. Yeah. You're traveling with your husband, après ski.
We're talking about today. 34, like
Yeah.
this day. I'm maybe pregnant.
You guys are maybe like skiing, you're doing a honeymoon, romantic vacation, because you're taking a break from your busy schedule being the next Oprah Winfrey. I mean, you're swamped. You're like the Ellen 2.0. Right? You're just tired of giving away, you get a car. You're tired of selling, #1 booksellers, of all time. And you're just exhausted.
Being on the cover of Forbes and Times.
This is my future. Stop.
I love this.
You're getting carried away. But then she doesn't realize that while she's on her honeymoon, she's totally unplugged, right? Off her phone. She's trying to detox.
Where is this
She doesn't
going?
realize that her entire business has been sued. You're being sued. You're being sued for copyright. You're being sued for being ugly, and you're being sued for giving away fake cars. Oh, okay. So because they're actually
go-karts.
You don't realize all of this is happening. You don't realize the empire that you've built is crumbling down because you're just drinking a pina colada, minding your own business. You have no idea what's going on in the States.
I'm pregnant.
You don't even know that. That's why you're canceled, because you're drinking a pina colada.
Well, but everyone else knows that I don't know.
So this is what happens. You return.
Yes.
This is still 34 years today. You return. You decide, you know what? This life isn't for me.
No.
You move.
Okay.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
You go to Connecticut, move with your husband, raise the families, have a chicken coop, and 1 cow.
Wow, that really took a turn.
Anyway, we should talk about our guest today that we're having on. Take it away, Sophia.
You guys, we have the hilarious Claudia Oshry coming on. And if you guys don't know who she is, you will soon. She is the host of the widely popular Morning Toast podcast. She is a comedian. We'll do her whole little intro later, but we've never met her, and I've watched some interviews with her. I've listened to her podcast.
I've stalked her page so many times. We're very excited.
And she's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun conversation.
Yes.
She's here to promote her book, so stay tuned. Meme queen and host of the very popular podcast alongside her sister, The Morning Toast, this comedian, entertainer, and media entrepreneur is now coming out with her new book called Girl with No Job, The Crazy Beautiful Life of an Instagram Thirst Monster. This is Claudia Oshry.
Hi, hey guys.
Did I say your name right?
Seeing yes, you did say my name right, even though it's like an interpretation, whatever you want to call me is fine.
Okay.
I just love going on podcasts hosted by sisters because I host mine with my sister and there's nothing better.
Oh my God,
agree.
We were just going to bring that up too, because we love the idea of working with the sister, and there's so many like ups and downs with it, but like we can totally dive
I mean,
into
did
it.
you guys ever fight in the beginning of developing your podcast?
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't really fight, but a lot of people are like, how do you work with your sister all the time? And I'm like,
Right.
how do you work with strangers all the time? Like,
Right.
I think it's so much easier to communicate. I'm not very confrontational, even though people like, I give off the vibe that I'm confrontational because I'm like loud and annoying, but I actually am very anti-confrontation. So like whatever Jackie thinks is right, I'm like, sure, yeah, like let's just do what you want.
Oh, see,
'Cause
that would be
she's
great.
smarter
for
than
us.
me. She's smarter than me. And,
Wait,
and I
what?
know that.
What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer and
She's a Cancer.
Cancer.
and she's a Scorpio, I think, November.
Oh, wait, I'm a Virgo. Okay, so that I kind of can see that. The balance, the dynamic does work because there are things that she does that really works for the show in terms of like the more emotional part and things. And then
Yeah.
I'm more the analytical
But we
one.
do butt heads.
We do.
If
Of
I say
course.
let's go right, she'll go left, and then there's no compromise. We're still gonna
Yeah,
do
but
it.
it's so much easier to like butt heads with your sister than like a stranger who you have to be nice to. Like that's
I
hard.
feel like working with your sister is sort of the same thing as having another roommate. I'd rather live with my sister than a stranger because then you can't say,
100%.
you
Right.
didn't do the dishes or your clothes are all over the place. Like
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be insane.
No,
Well,
and I'm
you're
sure you
right.
like have friends and like I know people in my life who are like really good communicators. Like if
Mhm.
something's
Yeah.
bothering them, they'll say it in an eloquent way where it's like if something's bothering me and I get the balls to say it, I'll just start crying. Like I'm not a good communicator.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
such a crying Cancer then.
Yeah. Oh, and
Aw.
I'm a Cancer to a T. Like
Are you?
you know,
so is she.
tough exterior, but like on the inside,
Soft.
I'm dying and I'm so sad all the time. But like on the
And
outside,
I feel
like,
everyone's emotions. You're sad, I'm
Yeah.
sad now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not like really into horoscopes, but I know that I actually really identify with my particular sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so do we. And sometimes we get like we like to have fun and get into it, but obviously we can't like everything's kind of the same. Like if I read someone else's horoscope, I'm like, I've had those days before.
Yeah.
So-
100%. Like I think that sometimes horoscopes can actually be toxic because like you read something in a magazine and then it substantiates your negative behavior. And it's like, no, it's not your sign. You're just like an asshole.
Like Karen,
Yes.
you're not just like having an off day because the sun is blocking the moon.
Right.
You're just
No,
being a
this
bitch.
is you.
You're just a
This is
bitch. This is
you.
you. You can
This
change
is
it
you.
too. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to be this
You
way.
can stop being. But so it was kind of interesting. We read that you are one of 4 girls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because there's 3 of us. So
Oh my
all
God,
girl
well, who's number
household.
3?
The
Scarlett,
baby.
the
She's
baby.
18.
I'm number
Yeah.
3 too.
So you're sort of the middle child.
Self-diagnosed middle child syndrome. Yes.
I was gonna say middle child syndrome. Me, hello.
I mean, you really like out of 3, like that's hardcore middle child.
But
Oh,
here's the thing:
she's
I don't think I
dead to
ever
her.
got lack of attention. I think that's what the correct definition of it is.
Yeah.
But I always craved more of it.
Of
Like
course.
I was very shy. I want to know how you sort of grew up because I was very shy when I was little, like crippling anxiety shy. I
Oh,
hated
really?
Yeah, she was.
like don't hug me. I'd be like, "Eh," like
Oh,
I don't know.
that's
It was
funny.
like very
And
bad.
I was like the oldest, being like so nurtured, so loved. So I was like on the stage, and now I'm.
But then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like I just want to be like the loudest, the funniest, the one on the
Yeah.
table, like self-deprecating to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Like, how are you when you grew up? Were you always like
I mean, that's
super
exactly
loud?
how I am now. And in the
Mhm.
book, like I never really like think about my childhood a lot. I just like was a child and now I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But with the book, I had to like write down because people always ask me like how I grew up, so many sisters, and my dad passed away when I was really young. So I wanted to like tell a story about who I am
Yeah.
and like why I'm this
Right.
crazy bitch. And when I look back on my life, like I'm exactly the same. Like when I was a kid, I was a nut job. I wanted attention so badly. I would sing, I would dance, I would do anything for attention. All the adults thought I was annoying, and the adults still think I'm annoying. So I'm consistent. I'm consistent.
Ah, fuck 'em.
You're like, hey, at least you know what you're getting at this point.
No, and like at least I make a living out of being annoying, you know?
You know what?
There you
It
go.
works. It works. And I have to say, the title of your book is absolutely hilarious.
Thank
I
you.
mean, Instagram thirst monster. Can you define what that is?
Well, I feel like in this age we're living in with like The Bachelor,
Mhm.
thirsting has a negative connotation, and I totally get it. And I've definitely been a part of, the culture of, putting people down who are thirsty. But the more I look inward, I'm like, no, I literally got to where I am. Like I have a book deal because I'm thirsty. And
Yeah.
thirsty is so negative when at the end of the day, people who are thirsty are just good at networking. I'm a good networker. So timing is really everything. And now I feel like I've been through a lot in the last few years, very public, lots of scandals, lots of controversy. Everyone loves that. And I never really respond to stuff. I feel like it's really hard for me to talk about it because, like I said, I'm not confrontational. Like if I just start talking about stuff, I'll cry. Like that is my MO. I just cry.
Yeah.
And On my podcast, I'm very off the cuff. My comedy is I wing a lot of stuff, and it's not always written, that thoughtfully, and it doesn't have that much meaning behind it. So like sitting down and taking the time to actually think before I speak and write something more eloquent and like, this is my side of the story. Take it, how, I just thought it was important. I think the book is the perfect platform for that. Like, I don't think my podcast is the perfect platform for that. I don't think my Instagram or my comedy is a perfect place for that. So I think a book was like a place for me to slow down and just like talk from beginning to end.
That's exciting.
That's awesome.
Because now that people are going to see another side of you that maybe is more vulnerable, because like it's hard to have a very funny, confident exterior 24/7. I mean, even on this show, we're always like coming into the show going, okay, we got to get like amp up the energy, and it's a lot of energy. And then sometimes there's something not.
No, I know. And then when you become successful for being a funny person, like everyone just like, they almost treat you like a zoo animal. Like you meet them and they're like, be funny. And I'm like, I'm out to dinner. Can I relax? Yeah. Like it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And also people are always looking like, especially if you're a woman in comedy, people are like, well, are you depressed? Like what happened in your childhood? And it's like, no, I'm actually a woman in comedy because I'm funny. And like, that's what I wanted to do. If I was smart, I would have become a doctor. Like this is what I was born with. And that's what I do. But I think like after reading the book and just getting to know like my obsession with pop culture and my obsession with entertainment, it's so clear, like from day one, like obsessed with Mean Girls, watching every TV show in high school, like getting in trouble for watching too much TV. Like my mom literally told me when I was a kid, like, you're going to go blind if you sit any closer to the TV. Like that is how I became this monster. And that's why I literally have a podcast.
We are TV fanatics as well. Like there's not a show on TV we haven't seen. So I totally agree with that. Yeah.
And like in quarantine, what else are we doing? So
what else?
Really
I know.
Wait, when does this book come out?
Tuesday, January 26th.
That's so exciting.
That is
amazing.
Gosh,
congratulations.
How hard was it? I feel like the idea of writing a book, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, just taking that first step seems so much harder than maybe even like writing the book itself. But what was the hardest part? And maybe what was the hardest chapter you had to write?
Okay. So like the hardest part is legit ass writing a book. And I remember I had each chapter in a Google Doc. And of course I started with introduction / chapter 1. Like that's where to start.
Yeah.
And literally my editor was like, this is really negative. And I'm like, oh God. So then I just decided to pick chapters. Like I would go to chapter 4 and be like, my chapter 4 is my chapter on like body image. I went to a fat camp as a kid, and just like being in the spotlight as a person who's chubby is like it can be really toxic. So I just went to chapter 4, and then I was like, all right, now I'll do chapter 8. So I ended up skipping around and not writing chronologically. The hardest part was for sure writing about like my dad dropping dead. And I actually started therapy like around the same time I started the book, early last year. And I always thought that like I really dealt with my dad's death in a healthy way. Like it was super tragic. It was a month into high school, but you know, kids are very resilient and kids bounce back. And I think maybe if I had lost my dad now, I would have been a wreck, but kids, they have to adapt
almost.
Yeah. And I felt like I really handled it in a healthy way. And I'm like, I am killing it. And then like writing the book and going to therapy at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, I never dealt with my dad's death. Yeah. So the book, I mean, everything I do, I try and have it be funny primarily. And the book is, I have to say, really, really funny. But there's a couple chapters that are really earnest and way more vulnerable than I thought I was going to get. But I just decided, I'm like, you only get one first book. Let's just put it all in there.
Your Instagram is basically, correct me if I'm wrong, is like how it the memes, the pages. When did you start that?
Were you a comedian first and then the podcast?
So I started, and it's all in the book, available at girlwithnojob.com/book. But yes, so I started a blog in high school. College. And it was called Girl with a Job. And I had gotten like this internship when I was at NYU. And I basically started like what I thought was going to be like the Devil Wears Prada of blogs.
Yes.
And it was not. It was not. But it did get me into social media. And, you know, I left the internship and I changed the name to Girl with No Job. And then started just experimenting with a bunch of different things. Instagram really took off. I eventually stopped blogging. Then podcasts became really big, and I started my own podcast that I don't have anymore, but it was like my first baby podcast. It was actually like, it wasn't great quality, but I had a lot of fun. It was an adventure. And then I got this show on Verizon with my sister Jackie. Then we took it independent in 2018 when they canceled the show. And then in 2018, when they also canceled the show, I was like, damn, I need to try new things. And that's when I started doing comedy. And I just, That's also in the book, chapter 9. Like
You're
from
like, I know exactly the page, the section.
That's so funny.
the
well, because
chapter.
also people like trolls are like, you didn't write this book. I'm like, bitch, ask me a page. I can literally recite it.
I
Like,
will quote.
I will quote myself. Like I know every single sentence of
So
this
funny.
book. But yeah, I started comedy just because like as a internet person, like everyone really does the same stuff. And if you're looking for longevity in your business, you got to be different and you got to be cutting edge.
Mhm.
And some
Definitely.
people I know had started to do live podcasts, which is cool. But it's not what I wanted to do because again, I don't want to do what everyone else does. So I'm like, what about a live show? And I was very hesitant to say like stand-up comedy because I had no experience. And there are
Yeah.
comedians who literally work their whole lives doing stand-up. And I felt like it was almost like offensive for me to like call myself a stand-up comedian. So I wrote like a 90-minute show and I just started like selling tickets to random comedy clubs in cities that I knew like for my Instagram would be successful. So like I knew New York was
Okay.
big for me. I knew Boston,
Yeah.
Chicago, Miami. I know that these were good cities for me.
Mhm.
And it actually like I literally hopped on stage in front of 300 people, like never having done comedy in my life. And I just like talked for like an hour.
Okay,
And
how?
it was iconic.
I would throw up.
How? I have questions now. How did you remember all the dialogue, the jokes? How did you not
There ought to be
blank
cue
out?
cards
I
or
mean,
something.
that is so hard.
So I remember, I mean, Joan Rivers is my favorite human being, was
Oh,
so
Icon.
sad.
Icon.
And I've watched her documentary 1,000 times, Piece of Work. If you haven't seen it, it's so funny.
Okay, we gotta
And
see
she
it.
was just like the hardest working woman in showbiz. And I'm like, how is this 82-year-old woman remembering, you know, hundreds of jokes? And in the documentary, she actually shows she has huge poster board, like the kind that you used to get like for like a science fair project.
Yeah.
She taped them to the floor of the venue that she was in, and then she would take them with her everywhere she goes on the jet back to another city, place them down, pick them up. And I'm like, oh, like cheat sheet. I'm like, I can do that because I have a terrible memory. And so I didn't get huge poster board. I got like printer paper everywhere I went, and I would just write the jokes, bullet points. Like I knew the structure of
Yeah.
the show, but remembering each single joke is so hard. And
Yeah.
I ended up like the tour was successful, and I ended up going on tour, and I did like something like 91 shows or something.
Wow.
So by the 91st show, I remembered it.
You're like the last show I
The
got
very
it.
last show, I got it.
Actually,
yeah.
the very last show, I literally left out like this huge part, and I was just like so excited to be done. And it was in my hometown, and it was like this huge thing. It was at the Beacon Theater, which like real comedians like perform at. So it was
Yeah.
just like so emotional for me, and I was exhausted.
Oh.
Like I'd been on tour for 2 years, and I'm like, there's this great bit in the show about and you can actually watch a comedy special on Amazon Prime.
Oh no, we've
it-
seen.
It's this Britney Spears thing, and it's like kind of like the best part of the show, and I legit forgot to do it.
Oh no, that's like
And it's
God.
Britney Spears. You can't do her like that.
No,
You
I
can't
know.
do
It was
her
so
like that.
disrespectful. And I got off stage, and my sister, my little sister Margot, came on tour with me for most of the tour. And she was like, "What happened to Britney Spears?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I did it." She's like, "No, you didn't." And I literally wanted to like go back out and start over. I was so
Oh.
Look, wait, guys, the show's not over. One
I'm just
more.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna do it all over again.
That's has there been anyone that you like are obsessed with that came to a show and you were just freaking out?
Well, yeah, like, and sorry that I keep plugging my book, but I really did put all this stuff in my book because I know that's what people want to know.
We're
So you guys are
pulling it
asking
out,
good
yeah.
questions, but I hate to be like so self-promo, but yes, it's in the book. A couple shows, in LA and New York. Nikki Hilton came in New York, and Paris came in LA, and I'm just like in love head over heels with
What?
Paris, like, and the Hiltons. And it was
That's
just like
so
to be
cool.
when like a celebrity recognizes you, it's like, oh my God, I
like
could
me?
die. Like I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm everything of the
Little me?
sort. Just
Little me.
Honestly, no, it's still funny. Even when I walk around and someone like either recognizes us, I get really confused.
I always go, why?
I go, who? They're like, they listen to your show. I'm like, really?
Why? So we're like,
Isn't it such
really?
a good feeling? As
It's
a podcaster,
cool.
you sit in your room and you think no one's listening. And then to see like the personification of your work in real life is so fulfilling. It really is.
It's
It is.
true.
It keeps it going because there's some days where we're just like, oh my God, if it's not working and this, and we get so we're really hard on each other and this show.
Mhm.
And then when someone just comes up and goes, no, we really
It,
love
literally,
it.
if
We're like,
one girl's like, "You guys helped me so much," I'm like, "Oh my God, it's worth
oh, we
it!
gotta keep going.
It's
It's worth it.
amazing."
And, you know, podcasting is a lot harder than people think. I think
yeah.
everyone, you know, who has a platform is like, I'm going to do a podcast. And I can name like 100 people who've done a podcast. And after 5 or 6 episodes just stopped because people are like, it's an hour a week. Like how much work could it be? But it is a lot of work securing guests, coming up with content, getting advertisers. Like it is no joke.
It's
And you guys
a
are
lot
seeing that.
of work.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So when we got into this business, we didn't even think we knew it was going to be something. But
We
didn't
thought,
really
oh,
realize.
put a mic in front of us and
No,
we'll do a
there's
show.
so many layers, and to keep a show going with someone that doesn't know how to talk or like how to keep it interesting, like what have we not said that someone wants to hear?
Mhm.
It's just because people do get bored. They can like it's
Worse.
there's so much.
And the worst
podcast.
is when we bring someone on or we talk about a topic that we think is so good and we're so excited and it just does not get the response.
We've had so many times where we've said a segment on our show and it's like a very unique segment and they've taken it to their show that they wouldn't even, it's like we've
Stop.
had the, oh yeah.
Tea.
Who?
I know, we should
We'll
name
tell
drop
you
them.
after.
Tell me later,
recording.
tell me later.
Yeah.
But it's just like things like
I almost
that.
said it.
And I realized I'm like, oh my God, this happens to us so much that you have to be really smart to be able to write a lot of content every single
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
And then you do your show like every single day.
I don't know how
or
you
was
do
it every
that.
other day?
It's every
Your
day,
weekends?
but I don't know how people host podcasts alone. I have so much respect for those people. But it's really nice to have a partner and do it with your sister, but you guys can probably relate to like finding a rhythm. Like me and my sister are both very chatty, but you should not talk over your podcast host, which I really struggle with like all the time. And finding that rhythm and that flow is so hard. And honestly, we've been podcasting for like 4 fucking years and we're still talking over each other.
And then people complain, they're like, you guys are too high pitched or you guys are too like interrupting each other.
Vocal fry. That's what I get.
I know.
Right.
So I have
So
to
mean.
say, I heard that you love the Housewives. And I just want to
Worse.
say,
Oh my God.
Sistine and I have seen every single Real Housewives show on the planet.
I mean, I would love to know your favorite franchise.
Well, you know what?
And
You
person.
guys, I feel like in like 10 years, like you guys could be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You have like an interesting family life backstory. Like you really could put
We
it out
could.
into the
Stay tuned.
universe.
We're
Manifest it.
manifesting.
I
We were talking
know.
about manifesting earlier. It's gonna
Like
happen.
show in general, we need to manifest that.
We're gonna
That'd be fun.
manifest
You
it.
could definitely do it.
I mean, I literally got married just so I was eligible for the Real Housewives of New York. And now all the women on the Real Housewives of New York are not even married. Not a single one of them is married.
Oh
But
my
that's
God.
that's a good
You get
twist,
your own
though.
character
I could
storyline.
be
That is the
unique.
storyline. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Well, why
different.
don't
I
you
mean-
join the cast of Housewives of New
Is
York?
that your favorite, New York?
Well, the thing is, it's like I've really made my podcast is successful for a multitude of reasons, but it's really popular with Bravo fans because we recap every week. I mean, I literally right before this just got back from the podcast. We recapped Salt Lake City and OC.
Oh my
Mhm.
God,
You
Salt
can't
Lake City.
really be like a public fan of the show. It becomes complicated when you like.
Mhm.
It's
I get
weird.
that.
Yeah, I
No,
get
yeah,
it.
you can't be on the show if you're like a fan of the show. It has to be like
Yeah.
because fans want you to be like
Be
natural on it, like,
Organic, yeah.
or like
Yeah.
even if you would be. But is that what would be your favorite franchise out of all the franchises?
I mean, I live in New York, so I want to say New York, but the New York franchise has gone so downhill. I was having this
Bethany,
conversation like yesterday with
loved
someone.
her.
I know she was a queen, and even like in her last few seasons, it was kind of disgraceful.
But she's killing it with Skinny Girl Margarita.
I
So like,
know.
who's winning?
Her
Who's
Skinny Girl
winning?
popcorn is so good. I don't know if you guys have it. The
Oh,
microwave
we gotta
popcorn.
try it.
No.
It's like 150 calories. It comes in like a few different flavors. I just like the sea salt one. It is the best
Ooh,
snack.
We're
Okay,
popcorn
we're getting
fiends.
that. We're getting
I
that.
think my favorite would be Luann. She's my favorite.
I mean, she is hysterical. Like,
Hysterical.
Cabaret.
what a character. Perfect for reality TV.
Oh, perfect. There's been so many scenarios like the falling in bushes, the stage show.
Lou
I
Man,
cannot-
the pirate in
Man.
St. Bart's. Like, and you know why she's great? She rolls with the
Giovanni.
punches. Giovanni. She knows how to make fun of herself, and she makes money off of it.
Yes.
Like, she's actually really fucking smart.
She is smart, and you have to be like you gotta just let yourself mess up on
For
these shows
sure.
because it's like everyone is human. You're gonna get shit on for it,
Of
but
course.
when you do live anything,
Yeah.
there are situations.
And I have
that
to say,
happen.
her opening slogan or whatever is my favorite. The
Which
lower the
one?
curtains, or raise the curtains, lower the lights. I'm taking center stage in my life. I love
She's-
it.
honestly,
Perfection.
One of my favorite things to do is like take BuzzFeed quizzes, like which housewife tagline is this? Because they change so much.
Do you get them?
It's, of course, I mean, actually, not to keep plugging my book, but chapter 8, which is my chapter on cancel culture, is actually titled, it is a Danielle Staub quote from her season
Wow.
of Real Housewives. You're either going to love me or hate me. There is no in between with me.
Stop. But have you ever thought about what yours would be?
Yes, of course. Oh my God. I think
Okay, I
every
assumed.
housewife fan has definitely thought
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
I think we have
Yeah.
one. But what's
So
yours?
I like mine, but it really bothers me because I I like when they rhyme, and I'm just okay. I'll say it, and then I'll tell you why it bothers me. It's
Okay.
I may. Sorry, I don't like that. I may be short and round, but you cannot push me around. I just don't like that I rhyme round with round. So I'm thinking maybe I may be short and stout, but you cannot push me around. I don't know. I'm working on it.
Oh,
So
my God,
good.
But
Thank you.
I see what you're saying, but
So good.
What would yours
She
be?
goes,
What
I
about
rhymed
yours?
round with round.
What would
I
yours
mean,
be?
okay, I tried to think about it this morning, right? And I was like, okay, what is something that I have? I have a resting bitch face. People think I'm like mean and angry. So I thought like the only thing I bring to the party is a resting bitch face.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Okay.
I thought of one for you too because I knew you wouldn't have
I
one.
think I have one.
Okay,
I just
go.
thought, a ray of sunshine, but I don't mind casting a little shade.
Ooh,
But you're
that's
not
okay.
shady.
I mean, but
This
no,
is- no,
that's
You'll
it,
have
I
to be
don't-
shady.
I have to be shady. I'm saying like I may be like happy.
Okay, actually, I thought of a really good one for you because
Oh.
you're a Harry Potter nerd and you're protective over your family. So this is what I thought.
Okay.
I may be a Gryffindor, but if you mess with my family, you'll see the Ravenclaws.
Oh wow. I mean, that would have to be like
That didn't actually
the,
hit as well as I
the
thought.
Real
it was going to.
Housewives of Harry Potter, but that would be
Of-
good.
That's
of
true.
Real Housewives of,
Of
Hogwarts. We're
Hogwarts.
starting.
Yes.
I feel like the slogans have gone downhill though, and that's the feeling.
100%.
Because I look forward to those every new season for
Yeah.
every single housewife, like whether it's Dallas or Salt Lake City. I'm just like, guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
go
Dorinda
on
said,
Reddit and think of something.
like a mint in my mouth, I could be a bit fresh. What the hell does that mean?
What does that?
What?
Like
Dorinda.
literally.
What happened to Dorinda?
And
by the
Dorinda
way?
has a sharp tongue. She can
Fall
think of
from grace.
something.
She could have come up with something better.
Oh, so
Yeah.
much better. I was
So-
just
oh
not
my
happy.
God, oh my
that whole
God.
season with her though too. I was
Was
I honestly could
awful.
talk about Housewives with you all day long.
We do.
But we really want to thank you for coming on the show today. I mean,
of course. Thank you guys so much for having me.
you were so much fun, and we'll definitely want to hang
Yes.
out when we can. in the
Yes.
future.
When you
You're
guys come
so
to New York, you
cool.
got to come on the show. Sisters, just talking to
Absolutely.
sisters.
That would
Let's
be
do it.
so
I mean,
much
we're
fun.
in Florida, so we can definitely, it's easy to
Oh,
fly
you
out.
are?
We'll come on down. But plug where you can everyone can find your
course.
book, your podcast.
My book, Girl with No Job, The Crazy Beautiful Life of an Instagram Thirst Monster, is available at anywhere you can get books. So Amazon, Barnes & Noble, indie bookstores. If you head over to girlwithnojob.com/book, you can find all the links available. The podcast, The Morning Toast, is live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're available on YouTube and anywhere you can find podcasts. So join us there for a little chit-chat, little pop culture, little housewives, little Kelly's Mindless News. Just, if you're ever looking for some fun stuff, head over to The Morning Toast.
Oh, did you say that in one breath?
Well, I've literally been doing press for my book like for the last 2 weeks. I am
You didn't
Fully
even
rehearsed.
stutter.
There was not a
That
flinch.
was chef's kiss. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Claudia,
so much.
we love you. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast
Thank you so much
today.
for having me. You guys are a bunch of queens.
Queens. Bye. Can't wait to read your book.
Thank you.
Bye.